So it's starting to get lost. But my late husband was a Luo, and he spoke only Luo with our son. And so as my son was learning Luo, I was learning Luo, and I was quite okay.
Hey, you've just hooked people there.
So one of the things that also happened slightly earlier with the starting of the breakup of Soviet Union was the start of people having the right to be Christian.
Wow.
Because during Soviet Union, being Christian was banned.
Whoa. So what were you doing your whole life up until this time? I didn't even think of asking this question.
Okay.
What was your religion, or what happened?
So number one, you couldn't be religious. Because if you were religious, you straight away lost particular rights in the society. For example, and so in Estonia there were maybe just about 20 or 30 people who had the courage to be Christian and lose everything that came with it. Like, for example, in Soviet Union, you couldn't simply buy a car. You had to enlist yourself onto a registry of everybody wishing to buy a car. And it was running on a cube principle, except, of course, there was corruption. So you could bribe yourself to be up in the ranks. But the moment you were a Christian, you would never make it to person number one who gets the license to buy a car.
Okay.
And normally it would take years. I mean, you would stay on that list for years. Similar to being able to get a fixed line phone line in your home. And this relates back to, I mean, do you remember when Kenyans had to wait for long periods to get a phone line installed in their house? So very much similar. But the moment you were Christian, you never made it to be the person who gets to buy a car, who gets to get a fixed phone line in your house, or who gets, so there was like, if you were a really, really, really good worker, you would get a holiday voucher from the state to go and have a holiday at the Black Sea resort somewhere. And so Christians never had that. But now when Soviet Union was starting to break down, there was a movement within the churches. And so there were videos that were brought in from abroad with Life of Christ and things like that. So it started to attract attention. And so many of us found a way in which it awoken in us faith, Christianity as a form of religion. And so when I went to Finland, one of the things I had was I had become Christian. I was a Catholic by choice, because you see, you are not born into any of the religions, because you become it in your own recognition of where do I feel I fit. And so I was a Catholic, and so in Helsinki, one of the ways in which I was immediately able to find my community was in the Catholic Church.
Wow.
And in church in general. But because initially I didn't speak Finnish language, so there was also the Christian Oecumenical Church, where basically every Christian who was in Helsinki and who wanted to enjoy an English service would go. And it was Tempeli Augio-kirkko, it's a church that's built inside a rock, and it's architecturally beautiful. And so when I now went to study in Finland, I straight away embedded myself in the two. In the Catholic Church, I was using the Missal to be able to understand the Mass being read in Finnish, and then in the Ecumenical Church.
So many questions. So first and foremost, even now when I went to Estonia, there's a lot of, I don't want to call it atheist, what's the word? Is it agnostic? Or there's a lot of...
Yeah, it's a balance between agnostic and atheist, yes.
It's huge. There's a huge population that's there. You know, young, old, it's just, this is not what we do. But I'm understanding the roots. So then for you, what was the encounter like that made you decide, I want to pursue this rather than stay this other direction? Stay in the path that you are. What happened that made you say, I like this? Do you get what I mean? It's almost like I'm trying to ask an atheist, what made you see the light?
Yes, I understand. I mean, that is the question you're asking. Yes. That is the question you're asking.
Let me stop being Nuku politically correct, because I'm with Honorable Kadri. Let me ask it like WWJD. You know, like
yes.
you went from atheist to...
Yes. So the point for me was, so we had school excursions every year. Okay, one I've mentioned when we went to Finland, but there is another time when we had a school excursion into Lithuania. And you know, when you go on a school excursion,
I like that you don't call it school trips. It sounds more exciting. School excursion.
Well, that's
what it's school trip.
Because I mean, I think we were there maybe for 3-4 days.
Okay.
And so when you go on a school excursion, normally, you know, it has a program. So you visit historic sites, you're told stories about that statue, you visit, you know, some cultural places, etc., etc. And so churches were considered historic sites. You analyze the architecture, you talk of, you know, this was built in this era, you can see the architectural reflections of it in that aspect there or this thing here. So you consider it as a museum item.
Yes.
And so, but it so happened that the time when we were visiting this particular museum item, it happened to have a mass going on inside in Lithuanian language or in Latin, or I don't know what language because I did not understand the language. But as the rest of our class was leaving, I felt the need to stay.
No way.
And so I stayed. I did not understand any of it. Every now and then there was somebody next to me who pulled me when I needed to kneel down, or, you know, because I did not understand any of it. But I felt the need to be there. And so it was from that then I started to sort of try and understand it.
Yeah.
So, you know, so that was a Catholic church. And so I, you know, because having done no religious studies.
Yeah.
Having had no CRE anywhere in the curriculum.
Yeah.
You know, so let me understand about the churches. So, okay, so that's Catholic. Okay, let's read about it. Let's understand it. Okay. And so I found a Catholic church in Tartu. And I said, okay, well, let me just, you know, try and understand this. And so I figured, okay, this seems to fit me.
Wow. Okay. Whew. That's a story and a 3/4. Okay, so you go now to Finland, and in Finland, while you're studying, you're going to the Catholic Church, but then you're also going to this other
communicable. Yes.
So, I mean, that's commitment. That's playing a huge part in your life.
Yes. And so So I studied social psychology, I studied social anthropology, of course, psychology being one of the subjects I was studying, and I was really enjoying it. It was in Finnish language. I did not understand initially Finnish language, which means that I'm sitting in class, I'm taking notes ferociously, so that when I get home, I can decipher my notes using a dictionary.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say Google Translate.
And so I would, learn language at the same time as I'm learning the subject.
Was Finnish, is Finnish and Estonian language similar?
So they are similar, but not the same. They're similar enough in the sense that, so probably the closest I could say is the Kikuyu and the Kamba languages.
Okay.
So
There's
it's the same language group. There are some aspects of grammar that are similar. There are some words that are the same. There are some words that sound the same, mean the opposite almost. There are some words that don't exist in the other language at all. And so anyway, so it's not a very difficult language to learn for an Estonian, but it's not an automatic.
Wow. So now do you understand Finnish proper?
Yeah, so...
Because on the bus I was hearing you... So I thought you were speaking Estonian with the bus driver when we got to Finland.
Yeah, no, I do speak Finnish.
So that was Finnish that you were speaking with the Finnish bus driver?
Yes.
So when we got to... Here's a clip, just for context. How's that joke? So we are off from Tallinn to Helsinki via ferry. Let me show you what this ferry looks like. Wacha nionyeshe vile hii ferry inakaa. So we are headed via ferry to Goi. Hii ndio ferry unajua?
This is what I'm telling you. The fact that a Toyota looks like a Mercedes doesn't make it a Mercedes.
A Mercedes.
This is a ferry.
This is a ferry.
Yes. But people are saying it's a cruise ship. Let's go and see.
Follow. And there we go. That there's man like Pius. Pass. Hindi ferry.
The spoon is global.
The spoon is global, baby.
The spoon is about to leave Estonia, headed to Finland. And I can't wait to see what Finland has to offer to the rest of the world.
I love it.
So that everybody can get to eat.
Everybody can eat.
Everybody can eat. The spoon is global.
The spoon is global.
See you in Finland.
See you in Finland. The journey continues. All right, quickly, my guy, quickly. We are on the
9th floor.
This is us? Now 10th floor.
On the 10th floor.
Sundeck. We're heading out to Sundeck.
We are coming out of the 10th floor
I suppose this is
of the ferry.
Yes, exactly. So it's turning around because the side where the vehicles were entering, that was actually the front. So it now makes a turn. And so we are right now at the back of it. So we'll see as we are leaving downtown Estonia, flying under Estonian flag.
Okay, so Kadri, for context, that side where the camera is facing right now, where is that?
So
that's Estonia.
That is Estonia, yes. That's Tallinn. In fact, I think you're right now pointing to Noblessne, which is one of the newly retrofitted areas that had formerly been old shipyard go-downs, but now is a really hip part of Tallinn.
Yeah.
And of course, in the middle you have
That's where we were.
downtown Tallinn.
Yep.
That's where you were. You can see the watchtowers because the main attack would be coming in from the sea.
Yes, and we can see the president's balcony.
We can see the president's, well, Prime Minister's balcony.
Prime Minister, sorry.
Prime Minister's balcony. And then we are leaving. You can see there are some more ferries or ships that are in harbour right now. One of them had come in earlier, and yeah, so heading out.
Heading out with a beautiful sun. This is 1 o'clock, so being able to enjoy the sun like that is a bit of a shocker.
This is a safety announcement. The ship's general alarm consists of 7 short and 1 long signal. The alarm signal is given using the ship's alarm bells. In case of an alarm, passengers must immediately move to their closest gathering point.
So we are on our way to... There we go. I know you can't see me well, but I want you to see the background. It's more beautiful than currently my face. Okay, we're on our way to Helsinki. We've just left Tallinn, Estonia. We are going by ferry. We are on the 10th floor of the deck. It's about a 2-hour journey by ferry, all the way until Helsinki, Finland. So we're going to continue the rest of our B2B conversations and the Estonia-Finland trip. So now we're going into the Finland side of things. But I need to show you this. That's the other member of Pass the Spoon. That's Joyce.
Hey!
That's Guitar. That's Joyce. And there's Madam Kadri.
So we've just passed under a railway bridge. A lot of Helsinki and its area connects with trains, and also there is very good train connection from Helsinki all the way through the rest of Finland up north. Like I mentioned to you, the landscape in Helsinki is very different. You can see the cliffs and rock formations on our left-hand side. It's very, very typical to Helsinki and also further up north. These kind of open rock formations. If you remember, we talked of the way the ice age shaped different countries differently. Estonia is rather flat, but this is the kind of landscape that Helsinki has from those formations. Something else, if you look at the corners of the buildings that have the street names. So in Finland, both Finnish language and Swedish language are official languages, and so every street has its Finnish name and its Swedish name. And so also basically every sign or anything that you read, it's got two words, almost looking the same, but the top one is in Finnish and the bottom one is in Swedish.
So Kadri was, when you get to Finland and we get off the boat, Kadri was taking us on a tour and explaining to us Finland, all the sights and sounds and everything, and having a rapport with the bus driver while explaining. She was our tour guide. But all this time I thought it was Estonian that you were speaking with him.
No, it's Finnish, yes.
Okay, so all that you've just seen there was, she still has her Finnish on point.
And and I would say that from the time I realized the value of Russian language, having dropped it and having then picked it up again, from there onwards, I have really made sure that I do not drop languages. And so...
How many languages can you speak?
So, I kind of speak like 6 languages.
Swahili?
Swahili.
You start with the main language.
Yeah, Swahili. I speak English, Finnish, Estonian, Russian, and I speak some Luo. And so,
Birochwadi. All my life. All my life, that's all I know. Shame on me. Shame on me.
And so there are some languages which I've just learned a little bit. I don't count them as that. I can speak them. I can speak a little bit of German. I can speak a little bit of French, but I really don't count them.
But when you say Luo, you can speak a little bit of Luo.
So it's starting to get lost. But my late husband was a Luo, and he spoke only Luo with our son. And so as my son was learning Luo, I was learning Luo, and I was quite okay.
Hey, you've just hooked people there. They're going to watch this CTA and hear the love story. Thank you. What? Kadri, you've an amazing story. Okay, we're currently in Finland. You're learning social studies.
Yes.
What's it doing to your mind? What's happening, especially given the context of where you've come from?
So, studying social psychology and social anthropology, and it's going deeper into understanding of cultures, and just the way it all gets documented, and also, of course, social psychology itself. Just understanding the way interaction takes place between humans and societies, etc. I loved it. And it was probably even more relevant for me having just done previously that research into, so I got to apply the science before learning the science. And so it was extremely valuable. And so one of the other things that happened was in the ecumenical church, as soon as I showed up there, the church pastor, a huge American guy with a white beard and white hair, looking like a huge Santa Claus every day. The moment there's like the after church service, there's coffee, new people introduce themselves. I say, I'm Kadri, I'm from Estonia. And he goes like, Estonia? All Estonians sing, you must join the choir. And so I joined the church choir.
But is it true all Estonians sing?
So
even when we were there, the boys' school, the boys' choir.
It is, because you see, Estonia holds. So number one, Estonia holds something that is a UNESCO heritage, which is our song festivals. And so we hold these humongous song festivals. We've held them for hundreds of years. And the choir is about 30,000 people.
Wow.
And so Estonia, even the singing revolution that we had, every Estonian sings.
Okay.
It's
true.
It's true. Some better, some worse, but we all sing.
I get it.
And so
I say that because I saw the boys' choir, the after-school program, and the boys' choir who are preparing for
the song festival. Yes.
And I was like this is the activity they've chosen to do, and they're doing it passionately. You could see they wanted to be there.
Yeah. Actually, it's a very stiff competition to be among the 30,000 who are in that song festival. Schools compete, they are evaluated. Every school has a boys' choir, a girls' choir, a mixed choir, a little kids' choir. I mean, every school has several choirs, and they all aspire to be part of it.
Okay.
And I mean the people who evaluate them, the entire choir sings, and they can point to that guy in the third row, fifth from the left. You have just done a flat on that note, and you're out. I mean, it's at another level.
Okay, so you're told join the choir.
Yeah, join the choir. And so
like every other Tuesday, no problems. Let's do it.
and so the church choir is not a huge choir. Actually, that's why he was quickly recruiting me, because I think the first day I showed up, I think there were 6 people. So it's not like a huge choir. But I joined the choir, and the choir master was from Sierra Leone. He was fleeing the civil war in Sierra Leone.
1990.
1990. Yeah, that was 1990 when I joined. We had freshly landed in what you call the airlift. So at that time, FINIDA was sponsoring university students into master's degrees. And so there was a fresh bunch of university master's degree students. There was somebody from Zambia. There was somebody from Ethiopia, from Kenya. Then there was a lady from Japan. There's a couple from Australia. I mean, that
in the choir now.
That was our choir.
Okay. You know what you've talked about? You've talked about Africans now.
Yes.
So this is your first interaction
with African.
With
yes,
Africans.
That's correct.
Okay.
Because
and you were like, where is the Luo man? Where is he? Where is he?
But you see, what I should mention is that